Have you ever wondered why good people sometimes do terrible things? Why jealousy can exist even between close friends? Why some people secretly celebrate your failures? Or why kindness isn't always appreciated? The truth is, human nature has a dark side that many people don't like to talk about. These truths aren't meant to make you fear people. They're meant to help you understand them. When you understand how people really think, you'll make better decisions, build healthier relationships, avoid manipulation, and protect yourself from unnecessary disappointment. In today's video, you'll discover 10 dark truths about human nature that psychology has observed for years. Some of these lessons may surprise you. Others may completely change the way you see the people around you. Watch until the end because the final lesson is perhaps the most uncomfortable truth of all, yet understanding it could completely transform the way you deal with people for the rest of your life. Before we begin, if you're interested in psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, and personal growth, make sure you subscribe to Human Behavior Secrets, like this video, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Now, let's begin. Lesson 1. People care more about themselves than they care about you. One of the hardest truths to accept is that most people spend far more time thinking about themselves than thinking about you. This may sound disappointing at first, but once you truly understand it, it becomes incredibly freeing. Many people spend years worrying about what others think of them. They wonder if people are judging their appearance, criticizing their decisions, or talking about them behind their backs. But the reality is very different. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to spend much time thinking about you. Everyone has their own problems, their own dreams, their own fears, their own insecurities, and their own responsibilities. They're worried about paying their bills, raising their families, achieving their goals, or dealing with personal struggles that you know nothing about. Think about your own life. How often do you spend hours thinking about someone else's small mistakes? Probably not very often. That's exactly how most people think about you. This doesn't mean people don't care about you. It simply means everyone is naturally the main character in their own story. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. We often believe people are paying much more attention to us than they actually are. Understanding this truth gives you freedom. It frees you from constantly trying to impress everyone around you. Instead of living for other people's approval, you begin focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. The happiest people aren't those who are loved by everyone. They're the people who stop depending on everyone else's opinions for their happiness. Here's the lesson. Stop wasting your energy trying to please everyone. Most people are thinking about their own lives, not judging yours. The sooner you accept this, the more confident and peaceful you'll become. Lesson 2. Success reveals people's true feelings. One of the darkest truths about human nature. Lesson 2. Success reveals people's true feelings. One of the darkest truths about human nature is that not everyone who smiles at you wants to see you succeed. Many people will support you when you're struggling. They'll encourage you when your dreams seem impossible. They'll tell you they're happy for you because your success doesn't yet challenge their own comfort. But something interesting often happens when your life begins to improve. When your business starts growing. When your career takes off. When you become more confident. When people begin recognizing your achievements. Some people's attitudes suddenly change. The compliments become less frequent. The encouragement disappears. The excitement they once had for your progress slowly fades away. Sometimes they even begin criticizing the very things they once admired about you. Why does this happen? Because success often exposes hidden jealousy. Jealousy isn't always loud. Sometimes it hides behind sarcasm, criticism, silence, or fake encouragement. Some people are comfortable seeing you succeed as long as you never become more successful than they are. Real friends celebrate your victories without feeling threatened. They clap when you win because your success inspires them instead of making them feel insecure. Fake friends compete with your success instead of celebrating it. One of the quickest ways to discover who truly belongs in your life is to observe how people react when good things happen to you. Your success doesn't only change your life. It reveals the true hearts of the people around you. Here's the lesson. Never measure friendship only during difficult times. Also pay attention to who sincerely celebrates your victories. Genuine supporters are happy when you rise. Lesson 3. People judge faster than they understand. The human brain loves shortcuts. Within seconds of meeting someone, people begin forming opinions. They notice your clothes, your voice, your posture, your facial expressions. your confidence, your appearance. Before you've even finished introducing yourself, many people have already decided who they think you are. This happens because our brains evolved to make quick judgments for survival. Thousands of years ago, making fast decisions helped humans avoid danger. But today, those same mental shortcuts often create unfair assumptions. A quiet person may be mistaken for being unfriendly. A confident person may be labeled arrogant. Someone who looks serious may actually be one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. First impressions are powerful, but they are rarely complete. Emotionally intelligent people understand this. Instead of rushing to judge others, they stay curious. They ask questions. They observe carefully. They give people time to reveal who they truly are. Remember, every person you meet is fighting battles you cannot see. Everyone has a story that isn't written on their face. Here's the lesson. Don't let first impressions become permanent conclusions. Give people enough time to reveal their true character before deciding who they really are. Lesson 4. Fear controls more decisions than logic. Most people believe they make decisions using logic. Psychology tells us something very different. Fear quietly influences many of our biggest decisions. Fear of rejection keeps people from expressing how they truly feel. Fear of failure stops people from chasing their dreams. Fear of criticism prevents talented people from sharing their ideas. Fear of embarrassment causes many people to hide their real personalities. Some people remain in unhappy relationships because they're afraid of being alone. Others stay in jobs they dislike because they're afraid of uncertainty. Many never start the business they've always dreamed about because they're afraid they might fail. Fear is one of the most powerful invisible forces controlling human behavior. The problem isn't feeling fear. Everyone experiences fear. The problem is allowing fear to make your decisions. The most successful people aren't fearless. They simply refuse to let fear become their leader. Whenever you feel afraid to take action, ask yourself one simple question. What if fear is the only thing standing between me and the life I truly want? That single question has the power to completely change your future. Here's the lesson. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to move forward even when fear is present. Lesson 5. People often want validation more than truth. Human beings naturally enjoy feeling right. We like hearing opinions that agree with our own beliefs. We enjoy conversations that confirm what we already think. But the moment someone challenges our opinions, many people become defensive. Instead of listening to understand, they listen to respond. Instead of asking questions, they prepare arguments. Instead of searching for the truth, they search for validation. This is one of the biggest reasons simple disagreements become heated arguments. Both people are trying to prove they're right. Very few are trying to discover what's actually true. Emotionally intelligent people behave differently. They understand that learning is more valuable than winning. They ask thoughtful questions. They listen carefully before speaking. They're willing to change their minds when presented with better evidence. True wisdom doesn't come from always being right. It comes from always being willing to learn. Here's the lesson. The smartest person in the room isn't the one who wins every argument. It's the one who keeps learning, keeps listening, and remains open to new ideas. We've now uncovered the first 5 dark truths about human nature, but the next 5 are even more surprising. In the next part of this video, you'll discover why people remember emotions more than words, how power reveals true character, why most people resist change, why actions always speak louder than promises, and the darkest truth of all, why everyone wears a mask. Now let's continue with the remaining 5 dark truths about human nature. These lessons go even deeper into the way people think, behave, and interact with others. Understanding them will help you make wiser decisions, build stronger relationships, and avoid unnecessary disappointment. Lesson 6. People remember how you made them feel more than what you said. Have you ever forgotten someone's exact words, but never forgot how they made you feel? That's because emotions leave a much deeper impression than conversations. You might give someone the best advice in the world, but if you make them feel embarrassed while giving it, that uncomfortable feeling is what they'll remember. On the other hand, a few kind and encouraging words at the right moment can stay with someone for years. Psychologists have discovered that emotional experiences are stored more deeply in our memory than ordinary information. That's why emotionally intelligent people don't only focus on saying the right words. They also pay attention to how those words make other people feel. Think about the people you admire the most. Chances are, it's not because they always said something brilliant. It's because they made you feel respected, understood, encouraged, or appreciated. Before every important conversation, ask yourself one simple question. How do I want this person to feel after talking to me? That question alone can improve your friendships, your family relationships, your career, and your ability to influence others. Here's the lesson. People may forget your exact words, but they'll rarely forget the emotions you leave behind. Always try to leave people feeling respected, valued, and encouraged. Lesson 7. Power doesn't change people. It reveals them. Many people believe that power changes a person's character. Psychology suggests something different. Power often removes the mask people have been wearing all along. When someone gains money, influence, authority, or success, they no longer feel the need to hide who they really are. A kind person often becomes even kinder. A generous person often becomes even more generous. But someone who is selfish, dishonest, or arrogant may simply become more obvious once they have power. Think about leaders, celebrities, business owners, or anyone placed in a position of authority. Some use their influence to help others, while others use it only for themselves. Power doesn't create character. It reveals it. That's why it's important to pay attention to how people behave when they no longer need anything from you. When someone has nothing to gain, their true character becomes much easier to see. Here's the lesson. Never judge people only by how they behave when they're trying to impress you. Watch how they behave when they have power, success, or nothing to lose. That's when you'll often see who they really are. Lesson 8. Most people resist change, even when change would improve their lives. Human beings naturally prefer what feels familiar, even when that familiar situation is making them unhappy. People stay in unhealthy relationships because they're afraid of starting over. They remain in jobs they dislike because uncertainty feels more frightening than dissatisfaction. They continue unhealthy habits because changing them requires effort and discomfort. Psychologists call this the comfort zone. The human brain often chooses familiar pain over unfamiliar opportunity. The problem is that nothing truly grows inside a comfort zone. Every new skill, every meaningful achievement, every successful business, and every stronger version of yourself begins with discomfort. Growth always asks you to leave behind what's familiar. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't necessarily smarter than everyone else. They're simply more willing to face uncertainty. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" they ask, "What if this is exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for?" Here's the lesson. If you want your life to change, you must first become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Growth always begins where comfort ends. Lesson 9. Actions always reveal the truth. Words are easy. Promises are easy. Excuses are easy. Actions tell the real story. Someone may tell you they respect you, but do their actions show respect? Someone may promise they'll always support you, but are they there when you truly need them? Someone may say they value honesty, but do they act honestly when no one is watching? Human nature has a way of revealing itself through consistent behavior. Emotionally intelligent people don't judge others based on one emotional moment. Instead, they observe patterns over time. Patterns reveal priorities. Priorities reveal character. If someone's words and actions don't match, believe their actions. Actions rarely lie. Here's the lesson. Don't build trust based on beautiful promises. Build trust based on consistent actions. Character is shown through behavior, not through words. Lesson 10. Everyone wears a mask. Perhaps the darkest truth about human nature is that every person you meet is showing you only part of who they really are. At work, people wear one mask. Around family, they wear another. With friends, another. On social media, many wear a completely different one. This doesn't always mean people are dishonest. Human beings naturally adapt to different environments. We all behave differently depending on the situation. The danger comes when we believe we've completely understood someone after only a few conversations. Real understanding takes time. People eventually reveal themselves through repeated actions, difficult situations, and everyday choices. Emotionally intelligent people don't rush to make permanent judgments. They observe patiently. They pay attention to consistency. They allow time to uncover the truth. Eventually, everyone reveals who they really are, not through what they say, but through what they repeatedly do. Here's the lesson. Don't be too quick to trust appearances. Give people enough time to reveal their true character through consistent actions. Now that you've discovered these 10 dark truths about human nature, you may begin looking at people a little differently. Not with fear, not with suspicion, but with greater awareness and understanding. Understanding human nature isn't about becoming cynical. It's about becoming wiser. When you understand why people behave the way they do, you stop taking everything personally. You recognize manipulation more quickly. You choose healthier relationships. You make better decisions. And perhaps most importantly, you begin understanding yourself. Because these truths don't only describe other people. They describe every one of us. We all have fears. We all have weaknesses. We all have blind spots. We all make mistakes. The difference is that wise people are willing to recognize these truths and learn from them instead of pretending they don't exist. Remember this. The goal isn't to judge human nature. The goal is to understand it. Because understanding creates wisdom. Wisdom leads to better decisions. Better decisions build better relationships. And better relationships create a better life. If today's video opened your eyes to the hidden side of human nature, please take a moment to like this video because it helps more people discover these powerful psychology lessons. Subscribe to Human Behavior Secrets and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future videos about psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10 dark truths surprised you the most, and why? Share your answer in the comments below. Your perspective might help someone else understand human nature in a completely new way. If you know someone who would benefit from these lessons, share this video with them. It could change the way they see themselves and the people around them. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, keep observing, keep growing, and always remember, the better you understand human nature, the better you'll understand yourself. We'll see you in the next video.